You are listening to Storymakers, the podcast for women who are ready to step into their true identity, live with meaningful purpose, find belonging and connection, grow in leadership, and walk boldly in faith. Here you can uncover the story that you were created to live because you were made for such a time as this. And welcome back to Storymakers. Today we are talking with Dori Morelock, and she's a friend that I meet at the She Speaks conference. And she's the creator of the Crave Coach app and founder of Beyond the Craving Ministries. So she has a really powerful testimony. Her story is she lost her first husband in 2005 and spent the next 17 years raising her kids as a single mom. While she was also walking out her own journey of recovery and healing, and she eventually remarried. She was with her husband, a special needs son, and a golden doodle, and now gives her life to helping women get free from shame and find freedom from the habits that keep them stuck. And we all have those, right? So we're going to talk about retraining your brain and meeting the deeper needs that you have in your soul with truth instead of buffering, and how to invite God into the exact moments where you are usually trying to escape and avoid. So it's a conversation that's very honest, lots of freedom in here, lots of hope, and I hope it's great for you. So let's get started.
Yeah, let's start talking about that, what we were talking about, the shame and frustration of, I said I was going to do a thing. I'm saying that I commit to something and then I find myself not doing that. Why do you think that happens for us, especially as women? Because everything that we carry, all the hats we wear, all the things on our shoulders, all the plates we're spinning, and then we make one commitment to ourselves and then we don't follow through.
I think a lot of times for Christian women, especially when we set whether it's a goal or whether it's working with somebody on changing a hardwired habit that may not be at addiction level, but what I would call a progressive habit, that it has the potential to become either an addictive tendency or really invade your life, space. And I think for Christian women, especially when they're trying to change something like that, and they find that it's just really hard, they keep going back, even though they really want to. Like, we really want to change. But change is just, by definition, like a habit. It's hard to change because it's hardwired into your brain. It's hardwired into even your emotions. Why you do what you do. A lot of times we picked up these things to survive some like really hard parts of life. And at one point they worked for us. They have relieved stress. They have allowed us to escape. They have even kind of felt maybe like friends, right? I mean, they've given us something that we were looking for to survive some hard parts of life. So we can't be too hard on ourselves that we've picked up some things that maybe aren't healthy. It's just, we live in a world that is inundated with lots of what I call like consume, like we consume for comfort a lot of times, whether it's social media, it could be food, it could be alcohol, you name it, shopping, we consume for comfort a lot of times. So I just think we get stuck in a cycle of shame and frustration because we know better and we want to do better, but we just can't figure out how to put it into practice and how to really make that change. And so I think we get stuck there, but it's, if we can like shift our mindset and just learn how, like, we're just trying to make little changes because this kind of change doesn't happen overnight. You can pray and that will give you power that you don't have, but you have to like really partner with God in this and like do the work. And I know that nobody wants to hear that, but it is work to change. It is hard to change hardwired habits. So I think we just have to keep trying. Just keep trying,
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming, like my name, except it's spelled different, but yes.
Oh, it is, right? Dori. Yes, Dori.
Yes.
I didn't mean that. There's no pun intended.
But it's okay. It's good. It's good. Just keep swimming. That's kind of
coaching program you could put together.
my mantra.
Dori says, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming with Dori. Coaching package.
Yes.
So for you are aware of what happens for these women who you care about, that you're passionate about helping. And so for you have a desire to help them stop the shame cycles and the frustration of not knowing how to make that change that's hardwired, because you want to give them the awareness, the understanding, and the tools to be able to say, this is the little change I'm making today.
Yes.
This is how I do it.
Yes.
This is how I stay accountable in it. Like basically the follow through and the finishing well. Because I think we get excited about making the change.
Yes.
And we'd say we're going to do it on Monday, that Monday gets here. And it's like, it was fun to think about Monday. It's not really fun to get to Monday.
Well, and we're triggered. We get triggered, and we have, times of day. So you start off strong. You've got all these great intentions. And then, these habits just start to kick in because they're automatic. We're not really thinking about it. And if you don't have a way to kind of keep it at the forefront of your mind a little bit with some encouragement or some tools and some accountability pieces, then it does get away from you pretty quick. So it's not about perfection, but it's just about just taking, one little step. And then, over time, you're going to see progress. And that's when real change happens, is if you can do like little bits over time, because you're really retraining your brain to adopt and respond to that same old craving in a whole new and different way. And that's what we want. We just want to be able to experience that craving, but respond differently to it, respond in a healthier way. So there is hope. It's just, it just takes a little bit of effort,
It's really good. So experience the craving, but learn how to respond to it a different way, retrain your brain so that you don't have to suppress it, ignore it. You don't have to feed the craving, but you also don't have to act like it's not there. You have to give it attention and actually experience it.
Yes.
And then probably I would say, like, what do you say? You need to experience it. And then do you do a little bit of work, like, how'd that get here? Or why is it there? What's underneath that? Like, It's not just a craving. That's the smoke, but what's the fire? Like,
right.
You
really, through this process, you're learning and uncovering the motivations and the mindsets behind what I kind of call your crave behavior, whatever that is for you. Like I said, we all have different things that we'll come into the table with, and for lots of different reasons. And so that's what I like to help women do, is really take a look at it. Let's not make it a scary thing. But let's get curious about it. Let's notice it. Let's understand it. Let's call it out. But let's also accept the fact that it's going to be a little uncomfortable doing this work. But if you can go into it with that understanding that it's short term, this is going to be a short term discomfort. And it will pay off. And you're in a safe place. I'm trying to create here a very safe, non-judgmental place for women of faith that can kind of explore these motivations, mindsets, and then process this discomfort of change. Because if you can do that, I'm telling you, you will find yourself on the other side of it and in a much healthier place where you can respond to that craving in a much healthier way.
So how did you get to this place where these people and this challenge these women face? Or
So
your passion?
my history is, I've got to lie, I suffered for about 10 years with eating disorders and issues around food. And so I had been a gymnast for a lot of my childhood, and I learned a lot of bad habits. And so I found myself in this place as I was, growing up, um, and got really, really sick and really, really stuck. So I know this from a level of kind of severe addiction. And I just have a passion because since I've been able to overcome that through the power of the Holy Spirit and how He has basically coached me through the transformation and recovery process. And it took some time. It took a good 2 years of real intentional work for me. So my goal is to help women not go down that rabbit hole. Like let's stop this habit, or let's stop this behavior or this mindset. I mean, it could even be anxiety. I mean, it could be anything that is keeping you stuck in a cycle of self-defeat. But I just want to help women stop and reset before they get to a point where, if you have a perfect storm in life and you already have kind of a habit that you've developed, it can really take you down some pretty scary places, and we don't want to go there. So let's get healthy and let's do this now. That's kind of and I did my husband 20 years ago, my first husband 20 years ago passed away from an addiction as well. So I've seen it from both angles, and I see how devastating it can be to families, to relationships, to children. And I just have such a passion for anybody that wants to change something that feels like it's controlling them, whatever that is. Yeah.
So beyond food and drink.
Absolutely.
What's that look like?
It could be anything. I mean, it could be smoking, it could be shopping, it could be scrolling, it could be binge watching TV, it could be eating, drinking. I mean, you name it. We just know how to overdo something because we're trying to either not feel something that we're feeling, or we want to feel something. So it's kind of two sides of the same coin, but what we're trying to do is basically either not feel something or feel something. And that's why we kind of get stuck in these cycles. And then once they take over, that's when it feels like we've lost some control. And even though we try to change it, and even though we know all the right things to do to change it, it's just really, really hard to change. So that's why I love to just create tools and help people kind of overcome their obstacles that pop up for them in terms of making these changes in their life. And yes, that's just
It's funny you said shopping. I was out today and I saw a girl. She walked by and she had a hat that said "Jesus saves, I spend," and I had to laugh. I'm like,
actually, that
I
is
couldn't
funny.
get a picture,
That
but I
is
can't
funny.
repeat it. And today, like on the same day, I had an opportunity to say it. It was sweet.
That was funny. That is great.
So-
I've never seen that before, but that is great. Yes.
So, okay, I'm thinking, what would you say for the woman listening? Like, what's life look like on the other side of craze behavior?
Mhm.
And what did you call it? Like the
Aggressive habits.
the addiction part, like an addictive tendency. Like
Okay.
the progressive habit that could become that has the potential of becoming addictive tendency, or just overtaking part of their life and
Yes.
becoming a major obstacle. But then you've got, what does it look like on the other side of crave behavior? What do you think that at the deepest root level, and also maybe more surface, like tangible things, what's it look like for a woman on the other side after doing the hard work to retrain her brain and pray, be empowered, but also be equipped with like the actual tools and knowledge she needs to be successful?
Well, I think some of the biggest things, you gain a whole new sense of confidence that I feel like you lose when you are stuck in like a shame cycle where, you've tried everything and you just keep going back. That's hard. That is hard to feel confident in your skin. So I think if you can, like do some of the work to get up and over that cycle, then you really will be able to build and experience way more confidence in your skin. You're going to be more productive in your life. You're going to have more time. You're going to have more mental energy, because it's not focused on, your crave behavior and what all that entails. And if you think through your routines, um, I bet you spend a lot of time, right, in that cycle and in that routine. You probably spend a lot of money on it too, maybe, So, confidence, productivity, more power in your life, more presence in your relationships. I think if you're struggling with food, shopping, you're spending money that maybe you're not telling your husband, that's really affecting your relationship. So, I think it's all like, you name it, and you're going to experience all of the good, things that God created you for and created you to do. Like, you have a calling on your life. And if you're stuck in that cycle, you are not operating at full capacity in that calling. So I just think it's so worth the work. It's not easy work, but it's worth the work. And it does get easier the more you do it. So if you can get past like the first week of really kind of like figuring out what this looks like and how can I change my routine to set myself up for success in this, and you kind of work it and you problem solve through it. Once you get through kind of the hard parts of setting that up for yourself, it does get a lot easier. It's just there is light at the end of the tunnel if you can just kind of hang in there and know that it's short term. Like the discomfort that you're going to feel to try to change something is very short term, and then it's going to become a lot easier to make those changes, and then the momentum of that change is going to carry you know what I mean, even further.
Yeah. I was even thinking as you're listening to all this, I'm like, the amount of decision fatigue that you have when you're like, should I buy that? Should I buy those cookies? I don't want to buy those cookies. But if I buy those cookies, like right now, having those cookies would feel like having a friend. I feel lonely right now. But if I buy those cookies, how many will I eat? Well, okay. I decided I wasn't going to. You've got so much like,
Yes.
well, I mean, like you said, it's the mental and emotional capacity, but you're making all these decisions. So you're faced with all these choices about should I or shouldn't I? And the power like of a protocol is so incredible when you just say, I don't eat cookies Sunday to Friday. Like whatever it is, I don't eat cookies because I'm sad or lonely. Like this is just not what I do. It's outside of my protocol. I have a boundary. There's a guideline and a framework for what I have agreed to for myself. Nobody's holding me underwater and telling me I can't. I'm not deprived. I've made a decision ahead of time that this is what I do and this is what I don't do. And so I think a huge part of a craving is, in addition to everything you listed, like it's a reward sometimes, those things.
Yes.
So
Feels like
what
that
do you
for sure.
say about like, how do you replace that reward? And I think also sometimes we can just decide, you know what, I don't actually, I heard somebody say this like a couple of years ago, and I'm not going to say it correctly, but it was basically like, do you really believe that you deserve a reward because you loaded the dishwasher? Like, is that where we're at in like society, that like, I deserve a cookie. I deserve like a full glass of wine. because look what I did. But
Mhm.
our brains are so wired to get a reward for almost like every single hard thing thing that we didn't want to do today.
Right.
And all of the drive around dopamine and stuff. So what do you say about like crave behavior and dopamine and rewards and retraining your brain?
Well, I think when I'm listening to you talk about the rewards, and that is very, very spot on. It, it tends to, like, when I think about a craving, I'm always asking somebody to try to go just a little bit deeper. I know you think you're craving that cookie right now, but what is it that you're really craving? Like, let's just go a little bit deeper. And a lot of times it could be the loneliness, right? It could be um, the need for connection. There's lots of things. So sometimes I think we confuse the word reward or the feeling of reward with more of a deeper need that I'm trying to get this met. But I've learned that I get it met through this feeling of reward. Does that kind of make
Totally.
sense?
Completely agree.
So I think if we can get down to that just next level of need, then we can set ourselves up and because becoming aware of that helps to take away, in some sense, the false like narrative of what we're actually telling ourselves in that moment. I think we have developed such a script and a story around our crave behavior and why we do what we do that we are not even challenging it on any level. I mean, really, we're not. We may be challenging some of the behavior, like, well, should I eat this? Should I not eat this? But we're surely not challenging that script and that story that we're saying. Um, so I think part of the way that I built this program is to help you look at your old routine, and what you're doing. And then you take that old routine and you just make one change within that routine that sets you in a different direction. So you're trying to get that feeling of reward or that deeper need met. But again, because you are taking your old routine and shifting it just enough to set you in a new direction, you're still getting that need met, but you're getting it met in a healthier way. Something that's not hurting you or keeping you stuck in that cycle. So yes, I think everybody's looking probably for different things. And what is gonna feel like a reward for me in that moment might be different for what you're looking for as a reward, but it's all about exploring those things and finding what it is that you're really looking for. And that's another part of the program is just try different things, just keep showing up, keep trying. And then you're going to find things that you're like, yes, that fits, that feels right, that feels good. So yeah, that's kind of how I would talk to that piece on reward.
Yeah, that's so good. Meeting the deeper need and just even recognizing that it's a deeper need under there, like there's smoke and then there's fire, and we can give a lot of attention to the smoke because it's going through the trees and it's like up in the sky above the trees and it's what draws our attention. It's like what we're focused on. But underneath, we actually have to get to the source of the smoke and figure out that's the hot spot. How do we pull it up by the root? How do we meet it? And I love that what you're talking about, like reward. We don't need to be rewarded for everything that we do. Like we really just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a cookie because I did the dishes. Like I don't want to do the dishes, but it's just doing dishes.
Mm-hmm.
I do really hard things in my life. I know you do. Like I do really hard things and I don't always need to be clapped for, and I don't always need to give myself something as a reward. But I agree that there is a deeper need.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that deeper need is I wish somebody had seen me in that spot and told me how proud they are of the very hard thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
And because
Even
that
you saying that And even you saying that to yourself, you're giving yourself that acknowledgement. So, but you buzz by that so quickly that, you're just reacting, right? And basically engaging in your crave behavior, but taking that moment to just go a little deeper, even if somebody isn't there to give you that, you just gave it to yourself. You're saying, you know what? I did do this. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely think awareness is
Bless
a
my
key
heart.
piece.
Bless my heart. I just did a real hard thing. That's happy on the back, Laura. I guess that rose up because like my parents never ever said like you did such a great job, but like we're so proud of you. And I didn't know that, for 50 years, like, oh,
Mm,
that was something that was missing. I didn't even know I was missing it because I didn't know I needed it until all of a sudden I'm like, I look at everything I've done and, we do disaster relief for 20 years and we've been around the world doing really hard things and building that. And then I've built my business on my own for almost 10 years. And I, like
yeah.
do really hard things. I have 5 kids. Like I homeschooled. Like I do really hard things.
Yes. Mhm.
As women, we do really hard things.
We do.
And then we don't have people in front of us giving us the accolades. We don't always go to a job where people clap for us when we walk in. Or the boss says, today is the day of promotion because you did that great hard thing. Like we just don't get a lot of that met. And
Mhm.
whatever your need is, like if you don't know it's a need, it'll never get met because
Mhm.
you don't recognize that it's a need you actually have and give it attention and say, like, there's no shame in the fact that I wish somebody saw the hard thing that I did and tell me, like, good job.
Right.
I mean, and that's what I
Mhm.
love doing for other women and be like, you rocked that. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I see what you did. Like, I love doing that with my clients. I
Mhm.
see how hard that was. We have walked together and I know the obstacles you face. And I'm so proud of what you did. You didn't just go over the mountain, you plowed through it. But the average people in our life aren't always giving us that.
Right. Right.
But it'd be really easy to fill that need that I'm not aware of
Mhm.
and just say, cookie,
Mhm.
shopping.
Mhm.
Like, you know what?
Yeah.
I need some new sweaters. It's fall. I'm not just going shopping. I don't need more sweaters, but I am lacking. There's an unmet need I'm not paying attention to.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you rush by it too quickly, we can
Yeah.
go fill it with things that we call a reward,
Mhm.
but we don't like our soul doesn't need more rewards. We need the unmet needs to be given attention
Yeah.
and then filled. And we might not always have somebody tangibly across from us filling us up, but we can speak to our own soul. And we can also just look to the word and go, like, what does the Lord say?
Yeah. Yeah.
What
And
does
invite
Holy
him
Spirit tell
in.
me? Yeah.
Invite him in to sit with you in that craving, in that, unmet need. I mean, that's who needs to fill that need, right? So yeah, that's I am just a huge believer, and that's just part of any process of change is invite him into that place where, I mean, who invites him into a craving with a cookie? Not many people, but do it, try it. I mean, I'm telling you, he will reveal things to you in that moment, probably about what that deeper need is. So just ask him.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so good. So tell us more about how you help meet the needs, whether they're known or unknown, that women have of having help and being equipped, having tools and accountability.
So, you're talking about
Yeah, everything that you do. And let's share with us your like the website and the work you do and the things that you have in development right now.
okay, so you can find me at beyondthecraving.com. That's my website. And then you can also find me on Instagram at Beyond the Craving. And I also am in the process. I have a beta version of an app that's called the Crave Coach. And it's a very simple self-coaching system that I am in the process of kind of revamping and rebuilding. I'm hoping it will be done maybe 6 months, we'll see. But what we're doing with that is we're building it into more of a personalized user experience. So you can get not only like a rescue and a reset button for like that immediate craving, that immediate urgency, that you just need to get through, but also you're going to get a very specific guiding coaching framework that will walk you through your craving in real time. And so it's also got some accountability built in, where it will check in with you in the morning to help you set your intention for the day. And then it'll prompt you for your trigger time as a trigger time check in. And then in the evening, it will also kind of do it'll check in and it'll ask you what worked for that day, what didn't work for that day, what would have helped you. So that way you can kind of keep track of all of your, all your journey and how to set yourself up for success. And if you want to join a focus group, you can also do that through either the website or my Instagram account. You can just send me a DM and I can send you some information on that. But yes, like I said, I love to build tools and create content for women who want to learn how to overcome their cravings and learn how to navigate them in new and healthier ways. And I would just love to meet you and hear your story and learn how I can walk alongside you and help you find that transformation that you've been looking for.
It's so good. I'm so proud of the work that you've done.
Oh, thank you.
I really am. I'm not saying it just because we talked about being proud. I am. I'm really proud of you because you've had your own journey and hard things, and then you saw things in your own life and your own experiences and how God led you through and how you walked through them. You have the hindsight to be able to look and say, this is what worked. This is what didn't work. And I want to help serve people who are facing things that I did. And it doesn't mean that it has to be the same exact story, the same exact craving. You have done the work to understand what's behind the craving and how to face it, not ignore it, and to overcome it by renewing your mind, and doing the work with the power of the Holy Spirit behind you,
Yes.
So I love that. Jesus said, I'm the bread of life.
Yes.
Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. And I think that is just about our stomach. It's about our soul and nourishing our spirit, One last thing I wanted to ask you. You said that in the app, it does something to speak to you at your trigger time. Let's talk about that. Tell us what a trigger time is. I mean, I know. I have my trigger time. I know what time it is.
Oh, yeah. I feel like a lot of us know ourselves, and especially in this area that we find ourselves stuck in. I mean, I feel like if I say, what's your one area that keeps you stuck? I bet something's popping up for everybody, right? Everybody has one area. So a lot of times, if you can just kind of look at your day and look at your habits or your crave behavior, you can find things that will, like, it could be a time maybe after work. Maybe that's your trigger time. It could be a person. Could really honestly be your trigger time. If you know you're going to engage with somebody at work, maybe that's your trigger time. It could be if you're, pardon?
Or at home.
Or at home. Yes.
None of us will mention any specific names.
All the people. That's right. And then even like I feel like I used to have like a nightly numbing routine, basically. Like,
wow, that's a really great way to put it.
I mean, I would get into habits. I could binge watch a show, have 2 glasses of wine, and then have the candy basket sitting on my lap. Like, what am I doing? But that was
Candy
my
basket.
nightly
Candy
night
basket.
routine.
With the candy basket.
My kids tease me about the candy baskets. They're old now. They're out of the
That's
house,
fun.
but they remember me with my little candy basket. It was always there like Halloween, after Halloween, I would put it in the candy basket and they'd go to bed and one of them would like peek over the little bridge, into the living room. And they're like, Mom, are you serious? Like you're going to eat my Halloween candy? But
I used to
so
buy my kids Halloween candy from them. I would let them go get whatever they wanted, and then I would pay them to give it back to me so that they wouldn't eat it. And then I would save it and serve it next year at my door.
really, did you? That's actually
Or I
quite
would eat
smart.
it when
Look at you.
I'm not really a candy person, but when I wanted candy, I always knew I had a stash. Now it was a year old. So all the kids that came to our house got a year old candy from what my kids got last year, but I gave them money to not.
You know what? Honestly, that's not a bad system. I'm all about systems. I was a single mom for 17 years, so systems are important, and that's quite a creative system. I like it. But yes, that could be my trigger time, and then I would want to maybe set that and just kind of check in with myself and be like, okay, you said your intention was this. How can you what can you do right now to help keep you on track with that? Do you need to call somebody? Do you need to maybe log a journal entry with a prompt? Like what will help you in this moment to work through this time? And so that's kind of how I view trying to set up your trigger time. And that might take some work in terms of understanding your behavior, understanding your routines, but you will, I think if you take some time to really think about it, you will be able to pull up what really are your triggers or your trigger times.
Yeah. I think you're right too. Like, as we're talking, anybody listening can say like, oh, I know the thing. Even if I want to ignore it, it rises up. It comes to the front of your mind. You're like, that's my thing. But you're like, then your shame tape starts playing. It's like, oh, don't let anybody know about it. Don't be honest about that. Or you suppress it and say, it's not really that. It's not that big of a deal. Or you normalize it and say, like, I've always done that. It's not harmful. And you're not really seeing externally like how it's become an obstacle to, like you said, we all have a calling, and then we've got obstacles in our life, and we have self-sabotage things that keep us from really walking in the power and in our calling. So I'm so happy that God's given you the revelation of helping people to be able to face the obstacle and move past it or move it out of the way so that they can step into their calling and really walk with him and remove the obstacles.
Right.
My goal, I feel like my mission under everything I do, podcasting, coaching, content creation, all of the stuff, is I want to help people remove every hindrance between them and the love of God. Like, just remove every hindrance to the love of God in your life. And it's a journey. It's not like you're talking about. This is not a practice of perfection.
No, it will never be. It will never be. You will never be perfect. No. But you can get to a point where it's more your norm. The healthy you is more your norm than the unhealthy you. So I truly believe that you invite God into this process and he will give you what you need to be able to make these changes and make these choices. And it really just comes down to choices, It
really does.
It really is a choice. But that's why I wanted to create something that helps you in real time to make that choice. Because when you just leave it to your own willpower, it's just really hard. That's just really hard. So if you could have just like a little helper, like the Crave Coach in my mind is just your little helper. It just helps you. It doesn't do it for you, but it guides you. It's guided coaching. So it just guides you through that process and helps you get to the other side of the urgency so that you're in a stable place and you can make a good decision for yourself. Simple as that, right?
So simple. Yeah, I love it. I love how you laid out. And thank you for partnering with God and helping women get free. It's pretty awesome.
Well, thank you. It was lovely seeing you again.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. And we'll have you back. There's more episodes and more conversations for us to have for sure.
Connect with Dori at beyondthecraving.com. You can go to Instagram and find her at Beyond the Craving. And you can also download the Crave Coach app for free on Apple or Google Play. So make sure you find her and get blessed by all of the things that she's creating and doing.
Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to the show so you don't miss any new episodes. And to learn more about me, my work, and how we can connect, visit sterlingandstonementoring.com or check the show notes. And until next time, remember, all things are possible and figure outable.